out about?
Well, you put something mildly disturbing in there. You put human gardening.
All right. If this was an anime, what would you get? What would your guess be?
It is a necromancer who has a green thumb, and so instead of using normal magic to build up their undead army, they plant them and water them, and they grow into their undead army. Human gardening.
All right. It is not an anime, but that's pretty good. I like it. I like it. No, it really today. It's been really good. Actually, in the past couple of weeks, it's been better. I've definitely.
It's been better to do human gardening.
If you let me finish, sir. Yes, yes, it has been. So, and you'll get it, and you'll have something very eloquent and wise to say about it. I'm sure. Just chill, all right.
Just chill.
Oh, John's leaving again. Gotta go. He heard his part and he's left. All right, fine. Be that way. Um, so I talked about decompressing from the job I'd been in and not having flow in my life, and things are flowing much better. And I've actually gotten to have a couple of really great conversations with people doing some interviews here lately, and told the story about reconnecting with Barb and doing We Serve and
Barbara Manatee.
Are you supposed to throw? All right, whatever. John, I missed part of 1 week, and it's just back to square zero. Cool. All right. Why is it not circle zero? Anyway, all right. So, for a person from my past, we'd worked together. She reached out, and it's been opening doors for me, giving me, I don't know, for whatever reason, the phrase "new lease on life" comes to mind, but that's actually not the right feeling. But it has been movement. It's been purpose. I've learned some new skills doing some basic website stuff through like Squarespace and Wix, right? Nothing major, no CSS coding, those kind of things, but getting the presentation I want done and how I want it done. And basically it's a great team up. And so that's been going on. I had some other people reach out from some other things, and I talked to them. And then today, Jerome Moore called me, or he called yesterday, and he's starting an EMT school, and he wanted to talk to me and get some advice and this and that and the other. And I taught him. There's a long story there I won't get into, but I taught him at the last EMT school I worked at, and so on and so forth. And the human gardening part is the as you meet people, I'm always helping others be awesome, right? You know, in the church world, they call it planting seeds, but that's usually used in a bring them to Jesus kind of way. And I put that voice on because that's not what I'm talking about, and I don't want to talk about that part. I'm talking about you actually when you're making connections, and that is the picture of guys like I'm just planting seeds of awesomeness in people, and that and that's when I helped Barbara out 10, 12 years ago, whatever it was, and she saw what I could do. She saw who I am, right? And our paths weren't right then, but it came back together and it grew while it was gone to where we were able to jump right on the page together and start doing some good business to where today she signed on 2 new shows for me to record and produce. And it's not like I'm the host. It's I'm going to sit there and on my other screen working on other stuff while I make sure that the host and their guests talk well together in a situation like we're recording now. And then I'll take the videos and I'll do some post-production and intros and make it all pretty and nice. And it's not a ton of money, but it points to other things. And it's not been that long in the works. And here we are. Okay, cool. They're going to record 1 show a month. And it's going to take me an hour to do that and 2 hours to do this. And I get this little bit, but it's that motion. Jerome calling me up yesterday. It was just the right thing because I've been trying to find a way to help 1EMS, which actually happens to be the fit for tonight. It's 1EMS, is my jersey. And I've been trying to find a way to get that 501c3 moving forward because it just takes time to get grants. It takes time for the big money to come in. And that's what the picture was showing me, is that that's what I needed to get started. And Brian, who helps a lot with One EMS. He was saying, well, should we start a pay class? I'm like, sure, but it's still going to be like $3 to $5 grand to buy the rest of the stuff that we were hoping to get through donations that just aren't happening. By the way, EMTs are stingy butt faces. $100 bag on your website. Like
EMTs or EMT product people?
No, well, all this, yeah, product people mostly. But it's like, okay, it's $100 on your website retail price, which I can give you. If you donate it to me, I can give you that write-off of the value that you say this is. I know because you're making a profit, you're a for-profit business. I know it didn't cost you $100 for that setup. So,
yeah.
And every business needs a write-off. It reduces the taxes, right? Nobody wants. Anyway, so that's just me ranting. But the human gardening part is, I helped Barbara be awesome before, and it's come back together in a way that I really needed to now. I helped Jerome be awesome in many ways before, and there was this thing I did back on the Breaking the Panel days during the Black Lives Matter. I don't know what to call it because it wasn't a movement. It was something that did matter. The conversations did matter, but the people doing it and other people involved sideswiped and went sideways. And it got loud and it went away because the people who were doing it for money or whatever, the main mouthpieces of it.
Yeah. There was some shady stuff within the hierarchy.
Yeah, and the timing of it is right before an election, all this crap, right? And I don't want to get too far off on it, but when I say, yeah, Black Lives Matter, and yes, all lives matter, but people politicize that too. So even when I see there's a car dealership in Athens or somewhere around here that I see these cars enough, it says ALM on it, which is the dealerships, Alm dealership, whatever. But all I can see is All Lives Matter, which people politicize. And if you saw that on a car, you knew it wasn't a I love people sticker. It was a screw you sticker kind of deal. I'm just saying. I went out to a Black Lives Matter movement during the time and just try to connect with people and talk to people. And I told some stories about that. And we can get that. We can talk about that on the show at some point if we wanted to. What I learned from that. And I posted it on all my socials and everything. Jerome is black, and he's a bit older than me. So he's gone through some stuff, but he brought that up today. He's like, man, when you did that thing, I just no words. Just no words. You're a true person. He called me something else I couldn't hear very well. I didn't want to ask him to repeat it because it seemed really cool. But we connected before, but when he heard me do that, he just knew that I was the kind of person he'd always want to work with. And so that came around today. It turns out the school that he's opening for EMT school, it's that church across the street, Joe.
Oh, okay.
You couldn't never see the church right there.
Yeah.
They turned one of their buildings into an office building that people can rent out space. So he's right there. And so I went over there today, and everything he wants to do, I like, and he needs some help. So I'm getting an avenue there of basically becoming a partner in that, to share what I know, do what I know. And One EMS is going to get to use that space. So now I don't have to jump through all the hoops of setting up school and buying all this other stuff on my own and figuring it out. I have a spot that's close by that we can go ahead and get that ball rolling. So that's really the human gardening is. I always give to give. I want people to live their best human lives possible. And I'm with Random Kid. I really wish that people would just be nice to each other. That's it, right? And that's what I try to put out into the world. And sometimes it comes back. I mean, I think everything in karma comes back. And I'm happy with my life. I know that the money that's my income right now might be going away soon. I'm not upset or scared or worried or negative at all. It will stress me out a little bit if it goes away, and then I just have to shift. But the shift has been moving. I have another opportunity with Barbara to make a lot of money as we're getting the block set up and the dominoes start to fall. It's going to be good. And that's what I wanted to talk about on my nerding out about. I did watch almost the end of Solo Leveling season 2. I texted you about
so you're
that,
not
Joe.
quite done. How many episodes you got left?
2, I think. 1 or 2.
Okay.
Because where I was texting you was right where I was.
Okay.
I won't spoil it for people because it was
Got it.
But sometimes I bring those real life moments, and that's it for me right now. It's I've cultivated a future with Tyra, and that has been paying off some dividends here lately. Phil and I've been working on stuff, and that's starting to come. Things are coming around. And I put out so much what I believe is good into the world, helping people that I'll never see again, helping people that may have been ungrateful, helping people that just needed that moment. And I did it honestly because it makes me feel good. When I do good for others, it makes me feel good. But that's, who cares, right? I mean, you should care. That should be the way. You doing good should make you feel good. But every once in a while, it comes back, and I can't put it into words. And Dr. Wayne Dyer says, I've quoted this a few times, but he says, I paraphrase it a little bit because I think I added a touch to it, but I don't mean to. We say yes. That's everything in life. Like the future we want, how do we get there? I've always chased this dream of being on the stage in front of thousands of people, being awesome. We say yes and expect the right people will be in the right place at the right time. And once I heard that, I've really tried to internalize that. That has happened. I've had people come in and out of my life, and it's always been good, and it's been hopefully mutually beneficial when those things happen. But right now, it's definitely becoming mutually beneficial that two people that I invested in years ago. It's almost like when you're going to marry somebody. Like when you're talking on this certain level, and it just makes everything else pale in comparison, right? Your good team, Joe, that you're on now versus your former boss. About yeah, right. Well, you knew it was bad, right? You knew it was bad, but you knew that when you get to new places, like this big bright light and saying, "Oh man, that was real." Yeah, it's almost like those moments. So that's why I couldn't think
It's
of what
funny
to
you
call
mention
it.
that because a few more people got out from under him because they restructured it a bit more. So a few more people are out from under my former boss.
Wow. And another one bites the dust. But yeah, I didn't know what to call it, so I called it human gardening, knowing that it would get a reaction out of you. But
yeah, apparently his pride took a hit because he has less people that are in his command chain now, and it's not like he can hire more people to fill those positions because they literally took those positions
away.
out from under him. And no, because those positions still exist. Those people didn't get fired.
Oh.
They took all of the business analysts under him and said bloop, and they actually took one of the former business analysts who was fed up with all of his stuff, who's been working there longer than I've been alive, and they were like, we don't want to lose you. They had taken her and made her a direct report to the director.
Yeah.
Well, they just took her and now made her a manager. So she's at the same level as my former manager, and they took all the business analysts and put them under her. So
I mean, you can't handle it. You can't handle the job. So yeah. So all right, is this this thing Sakamoto Dogs? Is that anime?
Sakamoto Days. Yes, it is an anime. Did you want to try to guess what it's about?
That one's so simple. You don't usually bring a 2-word title to the game.
Nope.
Sakamoto Days.
Mm-hmm.
Is a modernized telling of Greece. Where
okay, all right.
It's got 50s vibes to it, but they're still killing aliens with magic.
Okay, all right. So
Sakamoto Days.
the main character is named Sakamoto. He is a retired hitman, considered by most to be the best hitman in Japan. The reason he retired is because he was at a convenience store, and the convenience store cashier asked how his day was going, and he fell in love at first sight. And so he gave up the hitman life to marry her, and because she told him that rule number 1 in the house is no killing. So that's rule number 1 in the Sakamoto house. So now they have a little convenience store that he runs. He used to be in like crazy good shape, but because of how much he loves eating his wife's food and just eating in general now, he's a plump guy. But the assassin life is now looking for him, because you don't just walk away from that. So now there's a hit on his life, but he can't just kill the people that are after him because rule number one in the house is no killing.
No killing.
And so he's got to take out all of the hitmen that are coming after him without killing them, and it's quirky and it's hilarious, and I to be honest, I think you would like it quite a bit. It's on Netflix, and yeah,
Okay.
it's a fun ride. There's only one season out so far, and it leaves on a cliffhanger. I just don't know if another season has been
just anime, right?
yeah, that you're not wrong. So I assume there's going to be another season. Hopefully there's going to be another season, but it is a lot of fun. Because yeah, so some in a tiny spoiler is during some of the fight scenes, it gets so intense that he ends up shrinking back to his skinny buff form. But then it shows him just eating a whole bunch and he's chunky again like the next day. And yeah, and he's got like his glasses that he wears have bulletproof glass on them. And so every now and again he uses them to deflect
That's funny.
projectiles and stuff. Yeah, it is nonsensical and awesome and great. It's hilarious.
As I loaded into Crunchyroll tonight to watch a little bit Solo Leveling, it's always promoting something right there at the top.
Yeah.
It was promoting Windbreakers season 2. I'm like,
Yeah,
I just want to bring that one for Kurt to make fart jokes about the anime. Yo, Windbreakers.
So I haven't started season 2 yet, but season 1 was good, and actually we talked about it on the show. I can't remember what episode. It's been a while, but yeah.
I don't understand how you even have time for Jesus with all the anime that you watch. I don't understand.
Oh man.
So we all
You always
know,
make time for Jesus.
I don't know if you do, because every time I bring up one of the crazy ones I just heard about, oh yeah, I've watched all of it twice. So
I mean, I am on my fourth watch through of season 1 of Solo Leveling.
4. I've only done 3. Sorry. Now it auto corrected the spelling or something because it was not. This next one was not spelled correctly. It was actually a little bit of a initial. So we know this voice.
Roll that dice.
I don't roll the dice. I don't roll the dice. So you can roll the dice, fine. I'll finish this because this will be short. I got to be on Between the Pages with Bob McGough. It's his indie creator podcast that he does. He actually does it for some kind of indie network, and it's all about making money in the business of creating, and usually it's authors because that's what he knows is authors, and they talk about real numbers and real world issues and this kind of thing as far as selling your book, writing your book, blah blah, the business of it. I came on as where I got a podcasting, talking to podcasting. 2 hours, man. We were off for 2 hours and it felt like 2 minutes. It was just so good. It's so much fun. I don't even know how you can listen to it. I gotta ask him to send me a link so I can send it out to people. But yeah, it was.
And who knows when it's going to be on his website because he's redoing all of that. He put out a post saying that he was going to redo his website. So